Okay, so here's 21 through 30. The top of a bench has a length of 7 feet. So here's the top of a bench. It's the part that you lean back against. Has a length of 7 and a width of 4. A second bench is similar to the first, which means that a ratio will take care of how they're related to one another. The top of the second bench is 6 feet wide. What is the length of the top of the second bench? So all we do is need to set up a ratio or a proportion. So we can do 7 over x, the length over the length, equals 4 over 6. As long as our 7 and our 4 are both part of the same bench, and our x and our 6 on the bottom are both part of the same bench. Then we cross multiply. 4x equals 42. Divide by 4, both sides, and x is equal to 10.5 feet. Alright, number 22. Fractals or fractal geometry is a form of a geometric system developed beyond Euclidean geometry. Fractals are patterns that, when small sections are magnified, look self-similar to the whole figure. What might the concept of fractal geometry have been developed? Why might it? To model the Earth's surface? No. To model patterns found in nature, such as mountain ranges and coastlines. That is the reason. We studied that at the beginning of this semester. The triangles shown below are similar. Similar triangles have congruent angles. So all we have to do is start naming the congruent angles. Angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B is congruent to angle F. And angle C is congruent to angle E. A company is designing a flotation device made of foam. The shape of the design is modeled below, and we change this to which neck can be folded to form the shape of the flotation device. If you look here, when you fold this one up, it would be missing this part in the front. It wouldn't connect. It would just end here and here. This one would come around and end here. Again, it would be missing the part in the front. This one would be missing the same part in the front. The only one that could be wrapped all the way around and back to connect here would be B. So the answer is B. Why is that empty? 25 is draw the top, front, and side views of the following three-dimensional figure. So the top view, because I'm going to assume that there's nothing hidden over here, that what I see right here is the only one there. So my top view is going to be 3 by 3. And then it's got one protruding right here from the front and one protruding on the side. So that is what my top view would look like. My front view is what it would look like if I was looking at it from this front area. And that one would have a tower in the middle, 3 tall and 2 wide, represented by this 3 and this 3. And then it would extend 1 out on each side. So that is what my front view would look like. Then my left side view, if I was looking at it from this, would have 3, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm going to have 3 here. And then we're going to have 2 here. And then we'll have 1 here. So that's my left side. My right side is going to be the exact opposite because I'm looking this way. So it's going to have my tower of 3 on this side. And then it's going to have 2 here and 1 here. So that is my top, front, left, and right views. A banner is composed of 2 congruent triangles and a rectangle. What is the total area? And I told y'all to change that to square inches. So the first thing I need to find is the area of my rectangle. That formula is base times height. So 8 times 15, and that is equal to 120. This is 8 also. Then I need to find the area of my two triangles, which is base times height divided by 2. So that's 8 times 10 divided by 2. So that's 40. And since they're congruent triangles, this one is also 40. And then to find the total area, I simply add 40 plus 120 plus 40, and I get 200 inches squared. 27, in the diagram below, the angle of depression from P to Q is 45 degrees. That's right here. What is the distance between P and Q? So I'm looking for this distance. Well, I know this is a right angle. So if this part is 45, then 90 minus 45 will give me this angle, which is 45 also. So now I have a right triangle. This is my hypotenuse. This is my opposite. So I can use my trig function. So, or sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Theta is my angle, which is 45. So sine 45 equals opposite, which is 32, over hypotenuse, which is my x. If x is down low, we switch and divide, so we're going to switch these. X equals 32 divided by sine 45. Make sure your calculator is in degrees, and when you plug that into the calculator, you get 45.25, and my units are feet. PQ is shown on the coordinate grid below. The coordinates of P and Q are integers. Point XY lies on the perpendicular bisector. So perpendicular means it intersects at a 90-degree angle. And bisector means it cuts it in half. What is the value of X? So I want to know where my perpendicular bisector is. Well, if this is 1 and this is 4, then the middle of that line is right here. So my perpendicular bisector is going to be this line right here. So what is the value of X for that? Well, the value of X is 2.5. It's right there. The volume of a cone with a height of 14 inches is 196 pi cubic inches. What is the length in inches of the diameter of the base? So the formula for volume of a cone is pi r squared times the height divided by 3. So 1/3 pi r squared times the height. So if I put volume in there, I get 196 pi. 196 pi equals pi times the radius squared times the height, which is 14, divided by 3. So I multiply both sides by 3 to solve. And when I do that, I get 196 times 3 is 588 pi equals, these cancel, 14 pi r squared. So then I take and I divide this by 14 pi to get the r squared by itself, because that makes the pi cancel and the 14s cancel. And when I do that, I get 42 equals r squared, because my pi's cancel, and 588 divided by 14 is 42. Then I take the square root of both sides, and I get r equals 6.48. That's the diameter, or the radius, and I want diameter. So to find the diameter, I multiply that times 2, and I get that the diameter is equal to 12.96 inches. Number 30, the last one. The diagram below shows not a hexagon, but a pentagon. Find the value of X. So to find out what all of these angles add up to, I have to use the formula for finding the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. And that formula, if you remember, is n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. So this one has 5 sides, so it's 5 minus 2 times 180, or 3 times 180, and that equals 540. So all these angles add up to 540 degrees. So now I just start adding them. 4x plus 74 plus 74 plus 120 plus 120 equals 540. I combine all of my terms and I get 4x plus 388 equals 540. Subtract 388 from both sides and I get 4x equals 152. Divide by 4 and x is equal to 38. So this x is equal to 38.